In 99 Nights in the Forest, players fear the cultists, but it is not the robed figures that define the story. It is the watchers in the trees, the deer. To most survivors, they are nothing more than enemies to fight, obstacles to overcome. But in truth, the deer are far more than beasts. They are woven into the soul of the forest, bound to an ancient curse, and tasked with an eternal duty. Tonight, I will tell you his story, the story of the Antlered King, the hunters, the guardians, the cursed. This is the life of the deer. Long before the first survivor ever lit a campfire, there was the first forest. Endless trees, their roots stretching into the heart of the world. The deer were born here, not of flesh, but of spirit. Their antlers were said to be carved from the very bones of the forest, their eyes glowing with the firefly light of ancient wisdom. They were guardians, keepers of the balance. No hunter dared strike them, no predator dared challenge them. When the forest prospered, the deer multiplied, their hooves ringing like bells in the still night. They were the protectors of life itself. Then came the humans, survivors who stumbled into the endless woods, clutching axes and matches, desperate for warmth. The first fire was small, a flicker in the dark. The deer circled it in silence, their breaths steaming in the night air. At first, they did not strike. They only watched. But humans are greedy. One flame became many. Trees were cut, felled, burned to ash. The guardians could not understand this hunger, this endless need to consume. And so the forest began to twist. The guardians began to change. Every log thrown into the fire cut deeper into the forest's soul. The deer, once calm, proud, majestic, were filled with rage that was not their own. Their antlers sharpened into weapons, their eyes burned red, like coals from the very fires they despised. The curse was not just anger, it was transformation. By day, they remained half flesh, half spirit, moving with the grace of ordinary creatures. But by night, the curse awakened fully. They became hunters of men, drawn to the campfire's glow, pulled by the very flames they once revered. No longer protectors, now executioners. When the deer attack, there is no warning, no chant, no whisper of footsteps. Only the sudden crash of hooves, the splintering of wood, the gleam of antlers in the firelight. Survivors describe it like a storm breaking through the forest. Walls are crushed, traps shattered, the air filled with the sound of hooves and breaking bone. Unlike the cultists, the deer do not linger. They strike with precision, then fade back into the trees. And when silence returns, only wreckage remains. But not all who meet the deer are destroyed. There are whispers among the oldest survivors of a pact. Unspoken, invisible. Treat the forest with respect, and the deer may hesitate. Gather only what you need. Burn carefully. Build with balance, not greed. Those who honor the forest have reported strange encounters. Deer that stand at the edge of the firelight but never attack. Antlers gleaming, eyes glowing, but bodies still as stone. Watching. Judging. The pact cannot be seen. It cannot be bargained for. But perhaps it still exists. The cultists that stalk the woods speak in riddles of the deer. To them, these creatures are no mere beasts. They call them the Antlered Kings, the chosen of the Forest Mother. In hushed voices, the cultists say the deer are soldiers of balance, enforcers of an older law, a law that no human can escape. They do not hunt for food. They do not kill for sport. They are balance incarnate. Every log, every fire, every scream, they weigh it all. And when the scale tips too far, they strike. Even when the deer are not seen, they are there. Survivors often report a strange feeling while gathering wood, the sense of being watched. Eyes in the tree line, shapes between branches. Look too long into the shadows and you may glimpse their glowing red gaze fixed upon you from the canopy. Look longer still and you may feel your sanity slip away. For the deer are not just hunters of flesh. They are hunters of mind. To stare into their eyes is to invite the weight of the forest into your soul. As the cycle nears its end, on the 99th night, the deer gather in silence. Survivors who have made it this far report a ring of glowing eyes beyond the firelight surrounding the camp. The deer do not always attack. Sometimes they simply watch. Perhaps they are judging. Perhaps they are deciding whether the humans have survived with respect or with greed. And when the final dawn comes, the deer vanish. But their presence lingers, hooves echoing faintly in the distance, as if the forest itself is reminding you. The watchers are eternal. The cruelest truth is this: even if you survive all 99 nights, the deer do not die. They remain bound to the curse of the forest. With every new campfire, every new survivor, the cycle begins again. To some, they are monsters. To others, they are justice. But to the forest, they are balance. So when you see antlers glinting in the moonlight, do not run blindly. Do not waste your fire. Remember their story. The deer are more than creatures. They are the life and death of the forest itself. And whether you survive or perish, they will always be watching.